Live from Allied Gymnasium on the campus of Nevada Union High School. Touchdown Production, simply the best in high school sports television, is proud to present the Lady Miners Road to Arco Arena. Tonight, we're in the home stretch of the regular season in the Metro League with your defending champions, the Nevada Union Lady Miners, taking on the Grant Lady Pacers. It's coming up right here next on your NorCal Game of the Week. Good evening, Hoops fans, and welcome back to Allied Gymnasium on the campus of Nevada Union High School. Tonight, the Lady Miners take on the Grant Pacers from Grant High School. I'm Jim Adams, along with Alan Barros. Our producer-director this evening is Gil Dominguez, and of course, the entire Touchdown Production sports team is on hand to bring you tonight's pivotal contest as the Lady Miners look to close out the season with another Metro League win. And as is our tradition here on the Game of the Week, we begin tonight's telecast with bonus coverage of the junior varsity match. We're in the fourth quarter. We've got 7 minutes, 16 seconds remaining, and Nevada Union leads 61-32. And with the call, here is my partner, Alan Barros. Alan, take it away.
Thanks, Jim. Right now, Julia Spivey brings it up court for the Pacers. That ball is stolen away by number 21, Cassie Davidson, for your Lady Miners. But then she's pickpocketed by Rashawn Adams for the Pacers, and yeah, it looks like they're whistle blown right now. Grant will retain possession.
Alan, this junior varsity team has had a pretty good run here lately, and they're also fighting for the Metro League championship.
Yeah, right now they're cruising. Looks like they're going to be cruising to an easy victory. As Grant has the ball, Spivey with it. She puts up a shot. That one's short. She gets her own rebound. Looks to reset up the offense for the Pacers. She drives the lane. Puts up another shot again. That one's no good. Net ball's tipped out of bounds by a Nevada Union player, and Grant will take over again.
You know, in fact, Alan, this game was very close when they went to Grant. It was tied up almost down to the end, but the Miners pretty strong tonight.
And Shauna Stefani takes it all the way coast to coast for the easy lay-in as your Lady Miners lead by 31 points here in the fourth quarter. Spivey dribbling the ball up court for the Pacers. She looks to set up. Dribbles to the side. Attempts to pass it over. That one's broken up. Rashawn Adams takes the ball. Jump ball going to the Pacers. And let's take another look at that replay. Do you see Shauna
And there
Stefani?
it is. Here comes Shauna. And a nice layup here with her left hand. Excellent job there. And another 2 points for the Miners. This junior varsity team has had a pretty strong season.
And Boris South inbounds it for Grant. That ball is stolen away by the Lady Miners. They attempt to pass it up court. Shauna Stefani gets a hand on it. Pass it over. Shots up, and it's good.
Nice play there by Jessie. Jessie hits it from outside. One of the freshmen on this team that has had a very good season. In fact, Alan, in the lineup right now, you've got Morgan and you've got Jessie, you've got Paige. 3 of the freshmen on this junior varsity team. So the future's on the court right now.
Yeah, so they'll look to be strong again next year. And let's take another look, Jim.
And here it's just a simple play. Gets it on over to Jessie, and she has a pretty good look here and an open shot. And Alan, you know, good there in the basics. Buries it from there. Another 2 for the Miners. And 33-point lead. You can't complain about that.
No, you can't. Not much contest on the shot right there. I'm Alan Barros along with Jim Adams here bringing you coverage of this junior varsity contest. Just under 6 minutes left to play, and as Jim said, the Lady Miners lead by 33, scores 65-52 here in the fourth quarter. I
think we got a technical here, and there's Jessie shooting the technical and buries that one also.
Yeah, I didn't see what that technical foul was on. It might have been on the bench or something. Coach might have said something. You see the officials talking with the Grant coach right now. And Nevada Union, of course, will retain possession after the 2 shots.
Jessie pretty anxious there, wanted to inbound it right away.
So Jessie looks to inbound. She passes it into Morgan Mitchell. She stalls right now, brings it up the court, and she finds a lane, passes it over to
Paige.
Overshot, no good. Shot put up by Jessie, no good. She's going to be fouled.
Paige Carnahan had that initial shot, and she has also had a very strong season. One of the freshmen here, but Jessie back to the line. Third free throw here within the last minute, Alan.
And when you get to the line, eventually you're going to get some points, and she puts that first one up. And good, extend the lead to 68-32. And she sinks the second one.
Just like clockwork. I think they better bring her up to varsity as the designated free throw shooter.
69-32 your score, 5:38 left to play. Ball passed over to Borisouth, and that ball is going to be kicked. Looks like, yeah, they're going to call a foul. Looks like on a Nevada Union player. So Grant will inbound the ball. 5:32 left to play here in the fourth. And Yang takes that to the basket. Shot no good. Rebounded by Morgan Mitchell. She's being pressed hard. Gets it up to Shauna Stefani. Over to Paige Carnahan. Carnahan puts up the three. Shot no good. Rebounded by Bone Teps for Grant. She passes it over to Yang. Yang brings it up the court. Over to Borisouth. And she steps out of bounds. Lady Miners ball.
And the Miners playing good offensively, but also defensively there, Alan.
So ball brought up to Mitchell. She attempts to find a pass, broken up. NU retains possession. Over to Carnahan for a three, no good. Rebounded by Jessie. She puts up the shot, no good. Yang gets the rebound. Passes it over to Bonteps. Back over to Yang, and Yang looks to bring the ball up for the Lady Pacers. So back and forth sequence right there. A couple turnovers from both teams. Over to Bonteps, back over to Yang. Yang looks to reset for the Pacers. Attempts to bring the ball into Flates, but that one's broken up by Stefani. Stefani saves it for the Lady Miners. A scuffle for the ball. Gives it to Morgan Mitchell. Back up to Jessie. She puts up the shot. No good. Gets her own rebound. Second chance, and it's good.
Jessie having a very strong fourth quarter. If it's not hitting from outside or underneath, it's been the free throws. So excellent fourth quarter there and a good game.
Yeah, 4:17 left to play. Lady Miners lead by 39. Flates has the ball for the Pacers. Over to Johnson. Back out to Yang. See Yang looks to reset up into Flates. Flates puts up a shot and she's fouled. And she'll be going to the line to shoot too, as that was a shooting foul.
And defense there a little bit too intense there for Jessie, and she commits the foul on the play.
So Flates will be at the line to shoot too. And her first one is short, nowhere near the basket. Let's take another look.
And here it comes underneath. Good positioning, a little bit over the shoulder, and then gets that hand on the way up on the shot that is no good. But Miners with a commanding 39-point lead.
And ends up being a good foul to take right there. She missed both free throws. Oh, and they find Lady Miners wide open, but they are unable to capitalize right there. Puts up the shot, no good. And Langley gets her on rebound. She's fouled.
And the Miners 1 point away from having what is called a running clock, in that when the difference in the game is 40 points or more, the clock just begins to run. So if she hits one of these, Alan, the clock should start right away.
And Langley hits the first of two, and there, as you said, Jim, the clock's running.
72-32, 3:47 to play.
And she hits both of them, 73-32 now. Clock running, just over 3.5 left to play. Yang brings the ball up court for the Lady Pacers. Being defended hard by Mitchell, and Mitchell comes up with a steal. She has trouble handling the ball, though. Scuffle for it. Picked up by Amara Turzak for the Lady Miners. Over to Jessie. Jessie puts up the shot. Rims around it, and it finally goes in.
And a great game. What a fourth quarter. She's got about 10 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, all the players on the court right now for the Lady Miners is doing a great job contributing.
And Alan, you got to say, Jessie has just everything that she has shot, with the exception of about one, she's been able to hit on.
And your Lady Miners will take over after Maya Vu's called for the travel.
And she looked over at one sequence, gave us a little smile. A great fourth quarter for Jessie. Must have at least about 10 points, so I'm sure she'll be pleased with the performance.
And ball's inbounded to Langley. Back over to Morgan Mitchell as she looks to set up for the Lady Miners. Over to Langley. Back over to Mitchell. Mitchell drives the baseline, puts up the shot. It's short. She gets her own rebound. Being defended by a host of Lady Pacers. Puts up another shot. No good. Yeah, but Lady Miners look to regain the ball, but there's a whistle.
And they'll inbound it.
Yeah, Grant will take over. Running clock right now. 2:17 left to play. 75-32 your score. As that ball's inbounded to Sealore for the Pacers. Lord brings it up court. Over to Johnson. Johnson drives towards the baseline. She stops. Inside to Flates. Flates puts up the shot. No good. Ball rebounded by the Lady Miners. That's Paige Carnahan. Brings it over to Morgan Mitchell. Long pass up court to Langley. Wide open. Oh, but she's unable to corral that ball. Jesse gets that ball back to Mitchell. Back out to Carnahan. Carnahan for three. No good. Rebounded by Sealore for the Pacers. Just over a minute and a half left to play. Score still 75-32. Lord brings up court for the Pacers. Almost stolen away. Pacers retain possession. Over to Johnson. Johnson drives. Puts up the shot. No good. Rebounded by Langley. She looks to run fast for the Miners. Finds Morgan Mitchell streaking, but that pass is just too far.
A little bit too far for Morgan Mitchell to catch up with that one, Alan.
Yeah, nice look, though, right there.
Yeah.
She saw her streaking up court. You got to make that pass.
And this is a real benefit for the Miners because the regulars get to rest a little, and these players get some really good experience here for the home stretch for the big games that are coming up against McClatchy and Kennedy.
So Grant with the ball. Laura puts up the shot. Nowhere near the basket. Rebounded by Langley. Under a minute left to play now. She gives it over to Morgan Mitchell, and she'll slow things up. Try to just eat up the rest of this clock for the Lady Miners. Over to Langley. Finds Morgan Mitchell again towards the basket. Puts up a shot and is fouled.
So Mitchell will go to the line with 30 seconds left and the clock running. So this may be the final scene of this contest, Alan.
Yeah, after these free throws, I can't imagine we'll see much more. As you see, they're just taking their time right now. 20 seconds left. And Mitchell's first one is no good. And her second one rims in and out. Rebounded by Carnahan, but the clock runs out. And that's your ball game, folks. Final score here in this junior varsity contest tonight. Your Nevada Union Lady Miners coming out on top by a score of 75-32.
And Alan, an impressive showing for the Miners. It looks like they're kind of peaking at the right time. I know we'll get into it a little bit more later, but McClatchy on Friday, Kennedy next Wednesday, both of them here at Allied Gymnasium. So some huge contests for both the JV and the varsity girls coming up.
Yeah, and for JV, there's no playoffs. So after this week and next week, then the season's done. It's all on the line. And for the varsity squad, they got two pivotal games coming up with, you said, McClatchy and Kennedy, which will be huge in determining playoff seedings and the Metro League title.
Well, Alan, a lot of people take a look at tonight's game maybe as a tune-up, but the Miners have to be very careful not to overlook this Grant team, because although they are at 3-5, this is a determined, a well-disciplined, some will say the best Grant team that the Pacers have had for the last several years. So the Miners, who I've fortunately been able to follow on the road for the last several weeks, have been playing really good ball, but they're going to have to come up with a good effort tonight against the Pacers.
Yeah, you can't look past the team, because that's oftentimes when teams do that, that's where they fall.
And we'll hear from Coach Ganskie, and we'll look at those Metro League standings and the power rankings after we pause to let you know that this NorCal Game of the Week is being underwritten by Liberty Motors. Owner Gary Alkenbrack invites you to both locations of Liberty Motors to see the latest in automotive technology from Dodge, Chrysler, and Plymouth. And with so many finance options and rebate offers now available, along with a good selection of cars, trucks, and 4x4s ready for delivery, Liberty Motors is ready to solve your transportation needs.
Hanson Brothers Construction and HB Rentals. Rental manager Craig Arthur wants you to know that you always find the right tools at HB Rentals. He carries only the best from Caterpillar, John Deere, Bobcat, and Kubota. And now that HB is expanded, there's even more room for the professional rental equipment you need. That's Hanson Brothers Construction and HB Rentals.
Casey Wood Corporation. Casey Wood has been serving the needs of the professional contractor in Nevada and Placer counties since 1990 with building products including framing lumber, plywood, and siding. Maybe that's why the Grass Valley, Nevada County Chamber of Commerce honored Kevin Casey as the 2005 Business Person of the Year. Congratulations, Kevin. You've earned it. Kevin of Casey Wood Corporation.
By Port of Subs. Port of Subs is a lot more than just sandwiches. As a matter of fact, their breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Their breakfast wraps are a great way to start the day, and for lunch, their monthly specials will fill you up without even denting your wallet. And for dinner, they offer carefree catering with party trays and party subs, all available for you at Port of Subs.
This NorCal Game of the Week is being presented by Touchdown Productions, simply the best in high school sports television, now broadcasting 31 times a week on our NorCal network of stations. This is Jim Adams along with Alan Barros saying thank you for choosing us tonight for your family's entertainment. And be sure to join us next week as we continue to follow all the local teams on the road to Arco Arena and the section title. And we'd like to wish a happy birthday to one of our great photographers, R.C. Cameron. R.C. kind of in his swan song here with Touchdown Productions going on, has joined the Navy and will be leaving us. R.C., you have done an absolutely fantastic job. He was one of the key guys. There he is right there. He's one of the key guys in the Nevada Union Miners football drive down the stretch. And happy 19th birthday, R.C. We'll wish you a happy birthday, and we'll tell you that we're going to miss you a lot in the weeks to come. So thanks so much for your efforts.
Yeah, this is his last show tonight. And he's been one of the original crew members with Touchdown Productions as well since they first started.
Well, we'll miss R.C. Tonight's game features a Miners team that was fortunate enough to play a lot of games on the road in the first half and to play both of their key matchups against McClatchy and Kennedy on the road, and they split them. Since the last time we joined you, they lost to McClatchy, but they were capable in beating Kennedy on the road. So they come into this game with only one loss. They started the second half, played a really tough Granite Bay team on a night that, and we'll talk a little bit more about her later, Olympia Jacobs was injured, got up by 5 at halftime, and then down by 5 in the third quarter, and then on came the cavalry in the name of Olympia Jacobs, and before it was over, the Miners had won by 11. They moved on and had a bye, then played Johnson, won at Johnson, and so here they are with 4 games left, 3 at home. This game, Friday against McClatchy, Wednesday against Kennedy, and then they wrap it up a week from Friday on the road at Yuba City, and it has been a great run for this team. You know, Alan, initially Coach Ganskie thought that this would be a team that would have a weak bench, but the bench has contributed really well. Maria Viola has done very good. Kyling Clark has come in strong, and Emily Ryan has also done a good job. So unlike kind of last year, this year's team has been pretty well balanced.
Yeah, and that's a great thing to see, especially going towards the playoffs, because you always want depth, because you got to know that you can count on the players that aren't in your starting lineup. If somebody goes down or if somebody gets into foul trouble or something, whatever happens, it's great to know you have a deep team going into the postseason.
And this, let's talk for a moment about this Grant team. Grant is doing very well. They have a proud program, although they're 3-5. It's been a very encouraging year. The girls are playing at their potential. Watch number 23, Colette Eugene. She should have a good game. 34, Christina Solomon. All very good contributors as far as the Pacers are concerned. They've had some narrow losses, and it's really been a proud year for their particular program. So to win tonight, the Pacers will need to probably come up with their best game of the season. They'll need to play hard, stay focused, be very determined, and this team feels tonight, Alan, like they're capable of delivering the goods.
No, this would make, even though they're maybe not a playoff team this year, would make their season to beat one of the top-notch teams like the Lady Miners. Knock them off, so they're going to be gunning for them. As you see the teams warming up, shot of the Grant Pacers. They get ready to square off tonight with your Lady Miners.
And as you take a look at the minors, let's talk a little bit about them. Olympia Jacobs has had some excellent games. Forest Lake Star last year has come back and had a very strong season. Foot injury has now healed, and so watch for her to be launching from three-point range and also to be a key on the fast break. Mackie Perkey has had an excellent season, one of the starters for the minors, and then, of course, the two sophomores, Caroline Reeves, has had a very good season, and Sarah McAtee also. They were both key players in the big win on the road against Kennedy. And then Maria Viola will probably start tonight. Lauren has had a very good season, and we'll also see coming off of the bench Kylie Clark and Emily Ryan. All of the minors, maybe small in numbers, but having really a great season and looking really for some great things here. Let's hear a little bit more. It's been a while since we've had the chance to talk with him, and Gil has Coach Ganskie. Gil?
Thanks a lot, Jimmy. I was able to find Coach Ganskie over here on the sidelines. And, Coach, welcome back home into the friendly confines.
Thanks, Gil. It's good to be home.
It is, and you got Grant in the house tonight. And we were just talking in the pregame. It's that time of the season right now where you really can't overlook anybody.
Oh, absolutely not. We almost overlooked Grant when we went down to their place. We were thinking ahead to McClatchy and Kennedy, and they got on us early. They were up 20-8 before we finally started to play. So, yeah, we got to take everybody seriously and give them respect.
Well, just like the boys also, you guys just have to win it one at a time right now. You guys are pretty much in the driver's seat, though. You just keep winning. Well,
yeah, we win out. We win league. There are some scenarios where we could lose to McClatchy as long as we beat Kennedy and get a tri-championship. But we'd like to win it outright, and that's in our hands.
Right. First year last year, the co-championship. That was very exciting for you. Won that on the last day of the season. What's the difference between that season and this season so far?
Well, I think, our freshmen have grown up. Reeves and McAtee are now seasoned veterans. They're playing with a lot of poise, and they understand how to win big games. So, last year we just kind of went in it with our eyes wide open. Now this year I think we understand better and are executing and playing with a lot more poise.
And as everybody knows, senior transfer Olympia Jacobs coming on the team this year. I was looking over the statistics for the league. Olympia's right up there in several categories.
Yeah, I believe she's leading the league in scoring. She's been a pleasant surprise. I think what surprised me most about her is how she's improved her outside game. She was a great finisher. She drove to the basket really well at Forest Lake and when she first got here, but she's worked hard on a three-point shot and she's become our leading three-point shooter.
I think she's third in the league also.
Yeah, I mean, she's shooting it well. She shoots, she's fearless, which you love in a shooter, and very effective.
And how does that help you, having that combination of talent where you can go inside, outside? High school basketball, I mean, I don't have to explain it to you. Sometimes the girls come out and they're just cold.
Well, you always, if you got somebody that can shoot, that's great. But if you got somebody that can shoot and drive, that's even better. And Olympia has that ability to take people off the dribble and get to the rim. She finishes as well as anybody I've ever seen around the basket. But if she can sit out there and hit a three, they got to come out on her. Then she can take it to the basket.
Now, latest power rankings are out, and this is like the fourth edition of the power rankings. Lady Miners sitting in a pretty good position. Top 8 get a home game. And, of course, in D1, you only get the one home game. Lady Miners on the road last year for the playoffs. That's a big difference for you guys.
Well, it was a huge goal for us this year is to get a home game. I mean, we felt like we gave Napa everything we could give them, but we came up a point, 2 points short. And the difference sometimes is just that long drive down to Napa and playing in their home gym. So
it takes about 3 days.
Yeah, we'd love to get somebody here and make them drive to come to us.
Well, that's the way it's looking right now. Lady Miners are sitting fourth, right?
Yeah, we're at 4. The top 8 get a home game, so we'll we'll hopefully hold on to that spot.
Well, I think you'll increase because isn't Kennedy one notch ahead of you?
Kennedy is in the 2 spot right now.
Okay, so you beat them. I mean, they got to come down, don't they?
Yeah, but it doesn't necessarily mean we'll pass them. But, 1 through 4 really doesn't matter a whole lot.
Right, not in D1 because you only get the 1 home game.
Right. Round 2, you're traveling to Galt no matter what.
Right, Galt, the graveyard of many a season there in Galt.
Yeah, it's a tough place.
I sent an email to our crew saying that they should make a cemetery out there next to Galt because so many seasons end right there in Galt for a lot of different teams.
Yeah, it's that's the playoffs. It's sudden death. Anywhere you lose, it's over.
Right, so got several games at home. I want to encourage everybody to come on out here to Allied Gymnasium. Big game on Friday, and then, of course, next Wednesday, Kennedy's in the house, and that's going to be another great game.
Yeah, next Wednesday, you said, right? Yeah, yep.
And that's going to be senior night also as well?
Not for sure.
Okay.
If we for sure at home, we're going to do it the first round of playoff.
I know you like to do that. That's a tradition that you started over in Bear River. And speaking of those Bear River girls, I guess we were out there. They lost their first PVL game ever last week against Colfax.
Yeah, I was sad to see that. But, it had to happen sooner or later. But they still got a shot to win league and do well in the playoffs. So.
Well, we talked to Dan Hicks prior to the game, and afterwards we were watching them on the sidelines, and you would have thought they won the section title.
Well, you don't want to celebrate too early. It's not over yet.
No, it's not. They'll tangle up again on the 17th, and, of course, we'll have that game for you from Colfax on your game of the week. Coach, thanks for visiting us with us here on the pregame. Good luck tonight.
Thanks.
All right, Duwaine Ganskie there as we get ready for the Grant and Pacers and the Lady Miners. And, Jimmy, I just don't think you can say enough good things about R.C. Cameron. You know,
I don't think you can. Yeah, we could do a whole program, couldn't we, Gil? It's a shame we have this basketball game tonight.
We want to try and visit with R.C. at halftime for a number of reasons. But, of course, he's going to be going off to defend us, our right, to do the game of the week here in America. And, as watching R.C. grow up from the age of 10 years old, I feel like he's one of my own. And, this is a decision that he's making, though, to better his life and learn to all kinds of skills. And, of course, he'll be traveling all over the world. So it's going to be a great adventure for him. But would like to talk with him at halftime and get some of his favorite stories from the game of the week. Like I said, he's been doing this since he's been in the 6th grade with my son Casey, who's also here tonight, as it were. So just a real nostalgic game for all of us here on the NorCal Game of the Week as we celebrate RC's birthday on top of everything and his final game here with the NorCal Game of the Week. So, guys, let's throw it back to you. Thank the second set of underwriters and get ready for some basketball because every game is the playoffs from here on out on your NorCal Game of the Week.
I'll say this too, Gil. My theory in life is once a Miner, always a Miner, and RC will carry that tradition with him as he protects our country. God bless you, RC. The NorCal Game of the Week is being underwritten by All Phase Heating and Air Conditioning. Customer satisfaction is the reason that Doran and Max Bennett are celebrating 10 years of serving you in Nevada County, and they want to thank you for the trust you have placed in them whenever you have needed service, repair, or installation. They also remind you that All Phase is Nevada County's only certified trained comfort specialist, All Phase Heating and Air Conditioning.
Plaza Tire and Auto Service. Plaza Tire is the official automotive repair facility of the Game of the Week. The guys at Plaza always keep the Commander up and running so you don't miss a single game. So when the Commander is down, they're sure to get her in and out in a hurry, and the pros at Plaza Tire can get you in and out in a hurry as well. Plaza Tire and Auto Service. Professional auto repair done on your schedule, not theirs.
The House of Print and Copy, Patty Free, owns the copy store that thinks it's a print shop where customer service is always a priority. At the House of Print and Copy, they know mistakes can be costly, so they specialize in getting the job printed correctly the first time and can handle any printing need you may have, from a single copy to a full business presentation at the House of Print and Copy.
Walker's Office Supplies. Mike Anderson and the staff at Walker's specialize in many ways to make your business and home be more efficient. You can even order over the phone and they'll deliver it usually in just one day. That's why they carry a wide selection of office products and office furniture in their Main Street facility. That's Walker's Office Supplies.
This NorCal Game of the Week is being produced by Touchdown Productions. All of our telecasts are now available on DVD. So if you've played any high school sports since 1997, we've got you on the Game of the Week. That's right, every sports broadcast in our vast library is now available on DVD. Just contact the Touchdown Productions office to see if we have your game. Alan, I guess there's a few of those DVDs that you might like to have, huh?
Yes, sir.
Alan, a star for the Nevada Union Miners football team this last season. And I guess we can never mention that enough, huh, Alan?
Yeah, it was a great year.
Sensational year.
Yeah, I'll remember that for the rest of my life.
Well, you know what? In covering it the way that we did, I've got to tell you, I will too. What a great run that was. But the buzzer sounds, and that signals the close to the beginning of this particular contest as the Lady Miners take on a spirited Grant Pacers team here tonight. And Alan, let's break it down. What do the Miners need to do to prevail tonight?
Well, the Miners, what they need to do tonight, just come out, play their game, just don't look past these Grant Lady Pacers, because as you know what Coach Ganskie was saying, last time they played them, they kind of came out a little flat, just didn't play well at the beginning, and took a little wake-up call to come away with the win that time.
And this Miners team, even a little bit of a different team than we saw when they played Grant a half a season ago. This Miners team today, very talented, very poised, have come off some big victories and even facing some adversity along the way.
And teams, they always improve as the season goes along.
And this team definitely has. And the Miners have been known the last few years for being a really strong second half team. And boy, with some big competition, Grant, Yuba City, McClatchy, and Kennedy right around the corner, it's going to be important for them to bring their best at this time of the season. And so for the Miners tonight, their test is the Grant Pacers. You're going to see the Pacers led by Colette Eugene, Krishina Solomon, and Ariel Woodard. And before we bring you the game to honor America, let's present our national anthem. And it's time for some Allied Gymnasium basketball. This is Jim Adams along with Alan Barros, and we're pleased to bring you this Metro League showdown between the Grant Pacers and the Nevada Union Miners. And Alan, what does Grant need to do? The flip side of it, what does Grant need to do to beat this Nevada Union team?
Well, you know, they're probably going to need their best game tonight. As you know, Nevada Union, they're right there tied atop the league standings.
And so we're going to get a little bit of a chance to take a look here at the the Grant Pacers as they bring out their starting lineup. Number 00, 5'5", a junior, Ariel Woodard. Number 3, we talked about her a little bit in the pregame, Chelsea Eugene, 5'7", senior. And number 23, she is only a sophomore at 5'8", Paulette Eugene. And finally, number 30 in the starting lineup, Lucretia Smith, 5'5", junior. So there is the starting lineup, and there is Trishina Solomon right there. And so there's your starting lineup for the Grant Pacers. And for the Lady Miners tonight, they are going to start with their starting 5 who have led them throughout the majority of the season. And all 5 of these girls have had very positive seasons. And we'll start off with sophomore, 6 foot, Sarah McAtee. Number 4 at 5'11", also a sophomore, Caroline Reeves. Number 21, a senior at 5'6", Mackie Perky. And number 30 at 5'11", a sophomore also, Maria Viola. Maria's had a great season. And finally, what some would consider to be the anchor of the offense, number 33, Olympia Jacobs. So, Alan, that's the starting lineup for the Miners. And, you know, we mentioned it a little bit in the pregame, but what's a little bit different this year is they have a very good bench. If a player gets cold or needs a little bit of a rest, they have some good players that they can put in who've gotten some good time this season.
Yeah, we talked about that in the open, as you were saying. Yeah, and that's always great. Is, you know, if you want to be successful down the stretch and in the playoffs, you're going to need to have lots of contributors from the bench.
And we expect this team to be the Grant team to be a physical team, and to put on a good performance against the Miners tonight. So let's see what happens here. Jumping will be Paulette Eugene for Grant, and she'll probably be one of the better offensive players tonight, and opposite her will be Sarah McAtee. So we're just about ready to get this underway from Allied Gymnasium. Nevada Union, Grant, big Metro League showdown by 2 of the Metro League rivals. The last time that Nevada Union will play Grant in the ladies division for a long time to come, as the sections undergo a major change at the end of the season. So the tradition ends right here, and the tap comes on off to the Grant Pacers. Chelsea Eugene brings it on up, almost a steal there, comes underneath, out of bounds and over to the Miners. So tips off Colette Eugene's fingers, and here come the Miners on their first offensive possession. Caroline Reeves calls out the signals. Over to Olympia Jacobs, Mackie Perky. And here's Reeves open, thinks about it, bails out and turns it over. Eugene up with it. And here comes the Pacers, a little bit of a break, and the foul on the play.
Yeah, Chelsea Eugene right there. She showed some quickness in her step going to the basket and left the Miners with no choice but to foul.
And a foul there by Sarah McAtee. Of course, that will be her first. And Alan, let's take a look at this as she drives right over here.
Yeah, you see she receives that pass right there, blows right past number 34 of the Miners. That's Maria Viola, and left McAtee with nothing to do but foul as she goes up for the shot.
Grant takes the lead 1-0. Chelsea Eugene, second of 2 free throws. And it's good. So Grant with an early 2-0 lead, and the Miners need to give these fans something to yell about. Expect Jacobs to shoot from outside, but instead Maria Viola turns it over.
Yeah, Solomon got her hand right in the middle of that passing lane, doing a great job.
And there it is, Eugene, but a nice rebound, but tipped out of bounds and will go over to the Miners. Big Trishina Solomon tips it out, and here come the Miners down 2-0, but they only 2-0 here early on. Maria Viola will try it and hit. So Viola ties it up. As a sophomore, has emerged as a good leader for this squad. Gets it underneath the Solomon, uses her strength but can't quite get it to fall. Reeves with the rebound, brings it up with numbers. Viola underneath, up, it's good, it counts, she's fouled. Olympia Jacobs claims her first 2 points of the evening.
Yeah, and in the pregame, Coach Ganskie talked about how she's one of the greatest finishers he's ever seen, doing a great example of that right there. She's under the basket, is able to get the layup in and while getting herself to the free throw line.
And let's take a look at this. Nice pass by Viola there, Alan.
Yeah, she does a great job jumping up to get that ball and corral the pass. She puts up that shot under the basket. It's good and gets fouled.
Back to live action. Miners with the rebound. McAtee underneath and lays it in. So the Miners turn that into a 4-point play as Jacobs misses the free throw and the Miners convert for a deuce. 6-2, 6:16 to go here. Gets underneath the Solomon, and she again can't get it to fall. Looking for a foul, can't quite get it. So Reeves brings up the offense and throws it away. Woodard drives the lane. Nice dish, good! Smith, Lucretia Smith with 2, and that makes it 6-4. Miners, untypically with a turnover there, have been playing pretty sound ball of late. And speaking of mistakes, there's almost another one, but a nice save by Caroline Reeves. Expect a physical game tonight. And here's Reeves. Yes!
Yeah, Reeves doing a great job right there, just getting right in that right corner, the top of that key, and able to get an open jumper.
Comes out high to Woodard. Woodard over in the corner to Eugene. Eugene with a 3, and it's good.
And most of the offense will revolve around Colette Eugene tonight, as she is their leading scorer on this Grant Pacer squad. She averages about 18 a contest.
Grant so far executing exactly what their game plan is. 8-7, but it's good. Sarah McAtee. With less than 5 minutes to go, 10-7, and Alan, this Grant team has had a good first quarter.
Yeah, they got some quickness out of their guards play right now, and Grant, they're going to play hard.
Here comes Jacobs. Fast move to the basket, left hand and in. Olympia Jacobs, leading three-point shooter, leading scorer for the Miners, catches another pair there, 12-7 Nevada Union. 4:29 to go, first quarter from Allied Gymnasium. Smith with the ball, passes it on over to Chelsea Eugene. From way outside is Eugene, but a nice rebound, and that's good. It counts, and she's fouled. Ariel Woodard is fouled by Mackie Perkey, and that will make it 12-9.
And what happened right there is that what an errant shot ends up turning into a good pass right there under the basket.
And the previous sequence,
yeah,
let's take a look at Olympia Jacobs.
Yeah, that ball's
here,
broken up by the Lady Miners. Olympia Jacobs is able to get a hold of that. See, she breaks right past Grant defender Lucretia Smith, goes coast to coast, puts up the easy layup. And she's showing her quickness as well out there.
The three-point play is converted, and this Grant team will not go away. 12-10 in favor of the Miners. In underneath the McAtee, almost loses it, but Jacobs recovers. McAtee gets it back. Second chance. Hits the rim, no good, and rebound there for the Pacers as Woodard comes up with it and brings it on up the floor. Trailing by 2, 3:50 to go here in the first quarter. And she gets it in. So Woodard picks up 2, and we're tied at 12. 3:40 to go here in the first quarter. Mackie Perkey out high, gets it on over to Jacobs. Maria Viola gives it back to Perkey. Olympia Jacobs, a deflection there and a hard hit. They've got to call a foul. I believe it should be on Lucretia Smith. And it is. So second team foul, and the first foul against Smith.
Yeah, and you know, one common thing is whenever you see any Grant High School team, whether it's boys or girls, the one common thing about them is they always play physical.
And here's Reeves from outside, and that is no good. And so Grant has a chance to take the lead. Coming up the floor, tied at 12. Lauren Wardell has checked in for the Miners. A nice play comes off the rim, no good. And McAtee comes out with the ball. And an offensive foul is called against Olympia Jacobs, against Chelsea Eugene. And Eugene did a great job there of getting position.
Yeah, she was set right there, and Olympia just kind of took a step into her before she was able to get that ball down.
Let's take a quick look
Here's
at that.
Look. Yeah, you see right there, Chelsea Eugene is doing a great job of staying set.
Underneath, puts it up, no good. And this time Maria Viola battles for the rebound. Carolyn Reeves brings it on up the floor. Over to Lauren Waddell. Lauren gets it to Maria Viola, but an excellent defensive play there by Chelsea Eugene. And a fast break. Oh, comes off the rim, no good. Miners catch a huge break there, but here's a steal. 2-on-1. Comes off the rim, no good, and a foul is going to be called, and I believe that it will be called against Chelsea Eugene, against Lauren Wardell.
Yeah, good break for the Miners right there as they committed another turnover. It's a little uncharacteristic right there as they were kind of rushing the play, which led to that.
2:28 to go in the first quarter. We are still tied at 12. Olympia Jacobs tries to make something happen, but over to Wardell. And Olympia will try from outside, and it's no good. Maria Viola tries to trap it away, but here comes Grant, and they lose the ball. And Sarah McAtee comes up with it. Miners need to be patient here. They've run a little bit cold, but so has Grant in the last couple of minutes. Wardell over to Reeves. Maria Viola tries to drive, is rejected, but gets it on over to McAtee, and McAtee is fouled. Christina Solomon on the foul there, and that will put Reeves to the line. And Alan, the Miners need a few points here.
Yes, they do. These two free throws will be critical, kind of may help them whatever get out of the slump that they're in shooting department.
So Sarah McAtee to shoot 2. And the first one is good. A lot of iron, but she will take it. Miners forge ahead 13 to 12. 1:49 to go in the first quarter. Second of 2 is also good. Christian Woodruff in the game now for the Miners. And here come the Pacers again. Up high to Lee, and the Miners steal. Here comes Sarah McAtee, looking for someone to pass to. Tries to get it to Lauren Wardell, but too high.
Yeah, a good look right there. Unfortunately, McAtee's pass was just a little too high.
Ariel Woodard brings it up for the Grant Pacers. Lauren Wardell commits a foul there. That'll be the 4th for the Miners here in the first half with 1:23 to go in the first quarter. And Kylie Clark will come in, and Sarah McAtee will take a rest. Kylie Clark has had an excellent season so far. Very improved from last year, and is good offensively, but also very, very quick defensively. And there's a steal. Olympia Jacobs. See if she can split the defense. Comes in. Left hand will not go, and a nice rebound there. The Pacers are able to reject in that situation. Colette Eugene. She'll drive all the way. She'll also miss. Miners go for the rebound, and Kylie Clark deflects it on over to Olympia Jacobs. Fast break. Lauren Wardell. Left hand. It's good, but she has traveled.
Yeah, I saw a 2-step taken right there, right before she put that ball up. That's unfortunate. The Miners can't afford to make mistakes like that when they should be able to get an easy layup.
So Grant hangs in there, down only by 2 with 49 seconds to go. Comes off of the Pacer player, and here's Woodard. Woodard, very dangerous, has had a good game so far. From way outside is an air ball. Nice save by Caroline Reeves to Lauren Wardell. So Wardell will bring it up. 32 seconds to go. Gives it to Olympia Jacobs. Long ball, no good. Woodruff can't get it to fall. Little Kylie Clark comes in for the rebound. Crashing the boards. 20 seconds to go. See if the Miners save it for the last shot of the quarter. Out to Jacobs. Touch pass on over to Reeves. This is Woodruff, and she can't get it to go. 9 seconds. Pacers seem oblivious to how much time is left, but here they come. Long shot from outside will be off and no good. So we've played one quarter from Allied Gymnasium. Nevada Union leads by 2 points, 14-12. And Alan, what can you say about the first quarter?
Yeah, I think the Lady Miners, they made a few too many mistakes, more than they would have liked to that first period. A couple times they should have had some easy baskets, just some mistakes they shouldn't have made. And then sometimes when they're rushing their plays and stuff, led to some turnovers as well.
And let's talk about Grant here as we take a look at this nice pass by Jacobs.
Yeah, Jacobs, she passes it right there. Lauren Waddell's able to corral the pass, but you see, unfortunately, she took a step right there before she put the ball down on the dribble, before she laid it in, and that basket was nullified because of that.
So you take those two off the boards. If you're Grant, you've got to feel pretty good about where you are right now. You're away on the road at Nevada Union. You're only down by 2, so you've almost got an even contest for the last 3 quarters.
Yeah, and Grant, they've made some mistakes as well. They've been unable to hit some baskets they should have. So if you're Grant right now, you've got to be thinking, if we just step it up a little bit more and keep causing some turnovers from the Lady Miners, they could steal this one.
And so the Miners are going to have to play a solid second quarter in order to prevail here tonight. And the Miners with Christian Woodruff will inbound the ball here in the second quarter. Grant brings out Shavondra Lee and Ariel Woodard. And then, of course, Colette Eugene, Chelsea Eugene, the two sisters playing there. And here's Miners offensively. Kai Ling, nice pass to Woodruff. She cannot get it to fall, but there's a foul on the play. So we'll see if they call it a shooting foul or not. No, they'll inbound it looks like.
Yeah, I heard the whistle before that shot was put up.
Emily Ryan checks into the game as Caroline Reeves checks out. Here comes to Kylie Clark. Lauren Wardell will try for 3. Cannot get it to fall, but Olympia Jacobs gets it back up again. Rolls out of the rim and no good. Here come the Pacers. Ariel Woodard. Nice screen on the play. Almost turn it over. Woodard keeps the ball, passes it outside to Eugene. Back on over to Woodard. Left-hand dribble. Shot. Comes off, no good. And Emily Ryan gets the rebound. Kai Clark, Lauren Wardell, but again will be called for traveling.
And you can see the frustration on her face right now. There's 2 mistakes now.
So Lauren gets herself open, but has a hard time navigating successfully to the basket there. And she's been a strong player for the Miners this year. Here comes Grant from way outside, and she hits. Ariel Woodard gives the Pacers the lead, 15-14. Lauren Wardell, Olympia Jacobs underneath to Woodard. Dishes it off to Ryan, can't get it to go. Christian comes up with the ball. Lauren from outside, that won't go. Another good rebound. That comes off the front of the rim and is no good and goes out of bounds to the Miners. So Christian Woodruff has several opportunities as she checks out and Sarah McAtee comes back in.
Yeah, the Lady Miners have done a good job tonight on the rebounding and being able to grab offensive rebounds and create second chance opportunities for themselves.
Wardell way out to Kylie Clark. Has Jacobs to her left, and now she switches over. Sarah McAtee. This should be a 3 try, and it is, and she hits. Olympia Jacobs with that 3 ball from outside gives the Miners back a 2-point lead. Eugene puts it up but is fouled by Emily Ryan, and she will give the Pacers a chance to retie this game. And Alan, Colette Eugene has had, for a sophomore, has had a very strong performance tonight.
Yes, she has. Well, I mean, strong performance all year. She is their leading scorer, and we'd expect to see great things for her for the next couple of years.
2 shots here. First one is no good. And this Grant team is a much improved team over last year, and the neat part about it is that several of their players are underclassmen, so that shows good promise for the Pacers program in the coming year. Second shot also off the rim, no good, but Solomon gets it and gets the 2. Christina Solomon ties the game at 17. 5:51 to go in the second quarter. 17 all from Allied Gymnasium. Olympia Jacobs thinks about it again. On the front of the rim, no good, and knocked out of bounds and go over to the Pacers. Sarah McAtee had a shot at the ball, but with her left hand swiped it out of bounds. And it'll go on over to the Pacers. The Pacers with another chance to take the lead. Ariel Woodard, who has also had a very good game, but a nice play there by Lauren Wardell. Good steal. Emily Ryan comes up with it and gives it to Kylie Clark. Kai circles around. Gets it on over to Olympia Jacobs. Olympia to Kai. Lauren Wardell. Sarah McAtee will not fall. Great rebound by Emily Ryan, but it comes off the rim on the shot by Jacobs and no good. And here comes the Grant Pacers. Here comes Eugene, drives, can't quite get it to fall. Fast break here by Jacobs. Eugene coming up behind her, tries to steal it away, but knocks it out of bounds, and it will remain with the Miners. 17 all, 4:56 to go in the second quarter. And let's take a look at this play. Look at Eugene coming up from behind.
See Olympia Jacobs coming up court and right there, call it. Eugene comes right from the blind spot where Olympia can't see her, knocks it out of bounds, prevents a fast break from happening.
Back to live action. Over to Olympia Jacobs. This is Reeves to Emily Ryan, and Emily drops it out of bounds. Mackie Perky will check in. Lauren Wardell will check out. And the Pacers once again come up the floor with a chance to take the lead. We are tied at 17. Here is Eugene out high to Woodard, and she can't get it to go. The Miners a little bit fortunate that Grant has been on the cold side. And a pass on over for Mackie Perky that's intercepted by Woodard. Here they come with numbers. And a beautiful block by Caroline Reeves, but the rebound is laid back in by Ariel Woodard. And Grant leads by 2, 19-17. Mackie Perky from outside. Sarah McAtee, yes!
And much needed basket right there by the Lady Miners. They've been held in check for quite some time.
And Alan, I don't know whether they're cold tonight or whether it's that this Grant team is playing really well defensively.
Yeah, Grant's playing well, just the Lady Miners just haven't been showing the discipline that we're used to seeing out of them tonight.
And I think Grant's doing a good job at clogging that middle, which makes it a little bit difficult, only giving the outside shot. And, you know, the Miners this season have been known as a good fast break team. You haven't seen too many fast breaks tonight.
Yeah, we saw Olympia take it coast to coast once tonight, but other than that, Grant's done a great job down low. And let's take another look at that last shot by the Lady Miners. As you see, Mackie passes it over to Sarah McAtee. McAtee's wide open right there, was able to get a nice shot off. That sinks it right in, nothing but net.
So tied at 19. Grant with the ball. Chelsea Eugene will be inbounding and gets it on over to Smith. Eugene travels. So the Miners the fortunate beneficiaries of a turnover. And here comes Caroline Reeves to Jacobs. Comes back on out here to Olympia Jacobs. Sarah McAtee tries it again. Looks like she was hit on the play, but no foul is called. Smith dishes it off to Eugene. From outside underneath to Solomon, and Solomon can't get it to fall. Great opportunities for Solomon, Allen.
Yeah, right, that great opportunity. That ball just kind of swirled around the rim and finally went out.
Solomon's had some really good looks underneath, but has had difficulty in getting it to fall tonight. Olympia Jacobs, she looks for three. Yes! Olympia Jacobs with another three ball from outside.
Yeah, it's the second one she's hit tonight, and doing, as Coach Ganskie said earlier, she's really improved her three-point shooting since she came to Nevada Union.
And Eugene from outside with a big three, but that won't go. And here comes Jacobs. Fast break, 2-on-1. Viola on the left, Jacobs on the right. Yes!
And two possessions showing why she's such a complete player. One previous possession hits the three-pointer. Second one drives it coast to coast and proving why she's the top scorer in the league.
Here's Solomon, and she hits it and is fouled on the play. And let's take a look at that fast break, Allen. There's that 2-on-1.
Yeah, Olympia takes the ball all the way across that court. You see now she has a 2-on-1. She has an option to either pass or put up the shot. So you see the Grant player jumps up, and as she comes down, Olympia's able to put up the shot, put it in easily. Yes, you see she waited for Lucretia Smith to go down after she jumped up, as she faked her out before she put the shot up, and it wasn't even contested.
Trisina Solomon. And I don't think that even hit the rim, and it didn't, so it'll go right over to the Miners. So they were lucky there that Solomon missed everything, because the rebound was made by Grant. But here's the Miners up by 3, 24-21. McAtee gives it on over to Viola. Can't quite get it to go, and there's a nice defensive rebound by Woodard. Woodard brings it up. Nice play by Maria Viola there. Defensively knocks it out of bounds before Lucretia Smith could get her hands on it. And there's a foul on the play, and I think that'll be against Sarah McAtee. No, it'll be against Solomon against Sarah McAtee. So big Trishina Solomon commits the foul. Gives the Miners a chance to add to their three-point lead. 1:50 to go here in the first half. Viola far out here to Reeves. Nice pass underneath the McAtee, but good defense and can't get anything up there. And there's a foul against the Miners. That's
pretty much all the Miners could do right there to prevent her from getting a fast, wide-open break to the bucket.
And it'll be interesting to see who they call that foul upon. And Grant in the penalty here. So they'll have a 1-and-1. If she makes the first one, she gets a shot at the second.
Yeah, I believe Mackie Perky and Viola both made contact with her, so they could have gave the foul to either one of them.
And Smith makes the first one, cutting the lead to 2. With 1:36 to go in the second quarter. And that one comes off, and McAtee comes up with the rebound. Miners need a fast break here, and here comes Reeves. Mackie Perky. Viola, nice break there to McAtee, and she lays it in. And a beautiful play there by the Miners, hitting the open man. And here comes Eugene. No foul on the play. And McAtee comes up with the ball. Caroline Reeves now brings it up the floor. 1:05 to go here. And here it is underneath the Jacobs. She's hammered. It's good. It counts, and she's fouled.
And on that play right there, Olympia, she was looking for the ball to come across her back towards the three-point line so she can hit a three. But you see, you saw the passer was being defended really hard, and Olympia made a good adjustment on that play to go towards the basket and get the pass.
And Alan, the Miners with their first chance to get a little bit of breathing space, lead by 6, 28-22. And Olympia Jacobs has an opportunity to give it a 7-point lead, something the Miners haven't enjoyed all night.
Yeah, they've came along strong this second half of the quarter.
And there it is. She converts. 1 minute, 1 second to go in the first half. Here comes a spirited Pacer team. Woodard gives it up. Mackie Perky gives it to Olympia, to Maria Viola, and Viola lays it in. So what was almost a tie game moments ago is now a 9-point Miner lead. Here comes Eugene, and she gets it to fall. Miners could save it for the last shot, 22 seconds, and the shot clock has been turned off. So here they come, last possession, gets it underneath. Here it is to Caroline Reeves, over to Maria Viola. Sarah McAtee is there underneath, but I think they called the foul. Well, let's see if they're going to count it here.
Well, I believe the whistle was blown before she put the shot up.
Well, let's see here, Alan, hold on. They're counting it, that's good.
Yeah,
So
from what I heard, I thought I heard a whistle.
So with 10 seconds to go, the Miners get the 2 that give them a 9-point lead, and McAtee has a chance to make it 10 here as the first half closes out.
As you see right there, the ball, Maria Viola passes into McAtee right down low. She's able to get up, put that shot up. A much-needed bucket right there to give the Lady Miners a 9-point lead.
However,
seconds
on
of the half.
the free throw there, Olympia Jacobs commits a foul on Colette Eugene, and Eugene will have a chance here to shoot the one-on-one. So if she makes the first one, she gets a chance to cut the lead with 9 seconds to go. First shot is good. 33-25. Miners by 8. And by 7. So the closing seconds here, Caroline Reeves gets it over to Jacobs. She has a good look, but can't get it to fall. Comes down underneath, fights for the ball, and the horn sounds.
Yeah, and that last shot, she probably could have used a little bit more clock right there. That was about a good 2 or 3 feet from behind that three-point line as she put up that shot.
And for the Miners, a 7-point lead, 33-26 here at halftime. But Alan, you kind of have to think that this has really been a back and forth first half.
Yes, it has. As the Lady Miners got off to the early lead in the opening couple minutes of the quarter. Grant, of course, hustled back and was able to, it was for about, the leads went back and forth for a while around like end of the first quarter, beginning the second, and then just over those final 3 minutes of the second half, the Lady Miners took control, went on a run of their own, and that's where we stand right now with the 7-point lead.
The Miners have historically this season been a very good second half team, and with everybody healthy, it'll be interesting to see what they bring against the Grant Pacers in the second half. But let's talk about Grant for a minute, Alan. They had a well-balanced first half.
Yes, they did. They've hustled a lot, and right now they've created turnovers. And, the Lady Miners, that wasn't really the best first half they played, so they got to be encouraged with how they played. And just if they keep fighting hard, they should be able to make this close to the very end tonight.
Had a chance to talk with Grant Pacers coach Nadine O'Bannon prior to the game, and she said that this is one of the most determined and focused varsity teams that she's had the pleasure of coaching, and determination was their byproduct of the first half.
Yes, it is. And, this Grant team, they're improved from the Grant teams we've seen in the past, like over the last few years. Sometimes the Grant Lady Pacers, they haven't had such good of a squads, and they've been pushovers sometimes, but this isn't the case this year. They've given the Lady Miners all they can handle in the first half.
And they've hung around well here in the first half, so it'll be interesting to see what the third quarter brings. The NorCal Game of the Week is being underwritten by Liberty Motors. Liberty Motors is the place to turn for all your transportation needs. That's why Liberty Motors is the diesel depot for all of Northern California, and General Manager Ernie Shoemaker wants you to know that with over 30 Dodge Ram trucks on display, Liberty Motors has the truck you need with the accessories you want at Liberty Motors.
Hanson Brothers Construction and HB Reynolds. Hanson Brothers Construction has years of experience in the construction industry, and they're one of the area's largest. Jeff Hanson and his crew are always ready to help you, whether you're cutting a road or clearing an entire house pad. Hanson Brothers Construction and HB Reynolds, helping to build a better Nevada County one project at a time.
Casey Wood Corporation. Casey Wood has been serving the needs of the professional contractor with window and door products from Milgard and Anderson, as well as framing, lumber, plywood, and siding. And Kevin Casey is happy to donate his time as part of the NU Turf Committee, building a better Hooper Stadium for our community at Casey Wood Corporation.
Port of Subs, Mike and Cindy Argento, along with John Larimer, own the 2 Port of Subs locations in Nevada City and Grass Valley. But don't just think of them for lunch, because they also offer wraps, salads, soups, and party trays. You can even phone or fax in your order ahead of time, and they'll have your sandwiches ready to go. So whether you're counting your carbs, calories, or your budget, there's something for every appetite at Port of Subs.
This NorCal Game of the Week is being produced by Touchdown Productions, simply the best in high school sports television. Now, you can transfer those old videos of your family to DVD at the Touchdown Productions duplication station. Put new life into those family memories and get them transferred to DVD for a lifetime of enjoyment. Just contact the Touchdown Productions office and we'll set it all up. Touchdown Productions duplication stations, just another way we serve our NorCal sports community. And let's take a look here at one of those replay fast breaks here, Alan, in the first half.
Yeah, you see Olympia is able to break up the ball right there, and see Mackie Perkin comes up with it, passes it right back to Olympia. You see there goes Olympia. She takes off right towards the bucket. She shows her quickness. Is able to find a streaking Maria Viola, pass it right to her, jump stops, puts up the ball for the easy lay-in.
And they're going to have to do more of that in the second half, Alan, here tonight. And as you take a look, let's look at Kennedy at 8-1 in league. Only 3 losses on the season, one of those to Nevada Union. Miners with 7-1, McClatchy with 7-2. Kennedy has beaten McClatchy twice now, so McClatchy at 7-2 and a half a game behind the Miners. And then Grant at 4-6, Yuba City at 3-5. Granite Bay at 3-5, and Johnson yet to prevail this season with a 2-18 overall performance. So, and let's take a little walk around the foothills here. Here's the Pioneer Valley League, and Colfax at 9-0, and Bear River suffered a defeat. They're at 9-1. Oakmont at 5-3, Mesa Verde at 4-4, Lincoln 3-6, Miraloma at 1-7, and then West Campus at 0-9. And Alan, I think it's safe to say we're going to have a big showdown here between Colfax and Bear River.
Yes, we do. Yeah, we saw them about a week and a half ago, and Colfax won with about 30 seconds to go, winning about, I think it was 52-51 the score. So that's going to set up a huge matchup down at Colfax's gym next week.
And that'll be an exciting game, won't it?
Yes, it will. Anybody can win that league right now.
So, and here's the Sierra Foothill League, and Del Oro, much the same as they were in football, Allen, being one of the leaders there at 11-0. Placer at 9-1, and might be worthy to remind everybody that next season Nevada Union will be in the same league with Del Oro in every sport except for football. Rockland will be at 8-3, Monterey Trail at 6-5, Roseville at 5-6, and then the bottom falls out with Wood Creek, Natomas, and finally Woodland. So there is, here is the Central Valley Christian League, and we see that Sac Waldorf is at 11-0, having a really strong season. Woodland at 10-2. Does Forest Lake miss Olympia Jacobs maybe? There they are at 8-3. Victory at 8-3. Faith at 5-6, and then Wilton, Forest Hill, Sac Country Day, and Sac Lutheran
And, you know, with down at Forest Lake, Brittany Allen's been out a lot this year, too. She's been suffering through an injury, and that may be hurting them as well.
And here is the power rankings. You'll see in Division I, Nevada Union hanging on to that number 4 ranking. They have to stay in the top 8 to have their first game be a home game. Last year, traveling to Napa as they were below that number 8 spot. And then there's Placer, that is number 7, Colfax number 1, Bear River at 4, and then Forest Lake in Division 5 at number 6. So, boy, and if that isn't enough, let's take a look at the boys. In Division 1, Nevada Union is ranked number 3. Division 3, Placer's at 10. Division 4, Colfax is at 1. At 4, Bear River is at 8. And finally, then Forest Lake is at 12. So all you wanted to know about area basketball, Alan, there you are up to date as the buzzer sounds.
Yeah, these Foothills, you know, just a big, strong place for high school basketball this year, as many of them will be hosting first-round playoff games if they're able to finish up the season strong.
You'd have to think that's going to keep the commander pretty busy, don't you think? And everyone's going to be at home, so we will continue to bring you not only from the local games, but the road to ARCA. We'll take you through this basketball season for both the boys and the girls here in the Foothills. We'd like to remind you that this NorCal Game of the Week is being underwritten by All Phase Heating and Air Conditioning. Winter is here, and buying a heating system is one of the most important purchases you'll make as a homeowner. That's why All Phase Heating and Air Conditioning installs and services the Trane Comfort System. And All Phase is Nevada County's only certified Trane Comfort specialist. Doran and Max Bennett are there to welcome you at All Phase Heating and Air Conditioning.
Plaza Tire and Auto Service. If it's round, rubber, and it rolls, then they have it at both locations of Plaza Tire. The Hauser family really does appreciate your business and wants you to know that you can always trust the integrity of Plaza Tire. They stake their reputations on it every day, and with 2 locations to serve you in Nevada City and Penn Valley, Plaza Tire and Auto Service will always be there for you.
The House of Print and Copy, it's time to give your business a whole new fresh look for the new year, and the House of Print is the place to get it all started. Patty Free owns the copy store that thinks it's a print shop where customer service is always a priority and creativity a way of doing business. They make you look good at the House of Print and Copy.
Walker's Office Supplies. Mike Anderson at Walker's Office Supplies carries a selection of office products on hand to help you be more efficient, including used office furniture in the back warehouse, or you can order from their catalog and receive products the very next day. Mike knows your business needs, and his staff knows your name because they're local just like you. That's Walker's Office Supplies.
This NorCal Game of the Week is being produced by Touchdown Productions, simply the best in high school sports television. Jim Adams, Alan Barros here from Allied Gymnasium saying thank you for tuning in on our NorCal network of stations, ACTV Channel 20, Seabridge Connections Channel 23, Lake of the Pines Channel 7, and of course NCTV Channel 11 in Grass Valley, Nevada City. So Grant will start the second half as Lucretia Smith inbounds the ball. Ariel Woodard had an excellent first half, number 00. Underneath the Solomon, and I wouldn't be surprised if they went to her more in the second half. If she starts hitting her shot as she did there, she could give the Miners a lot of trouble.
Yeah, in the first half she had some good looks, had some trouble knocking the shots down, but right there that was perfect, and look for that more in the second half.
Here's Jacobs, an open 3. Yes!
And you can't leave her wide open like that. She's been on a roll tonight. That's her third three-pointer.
And she is really hot from outside. And a nice block there by Maria Viola. See if the Miners can come up with it, and Mackie Perky does. Almost fouled on the play and gets it to McAtee. McAtee has Viola on her right and gets it to her, and Viola buries it. And a quick timeout there by Nevada Union. A nice play there by McAtee and Maria Viola. And a 10-point lead, 38-28.
And Coach Ganskie must see something right now that the Lady Miners can exploit from this Grant team as he calls a quick timeout after they score a couple baskets. And get a double-digit lead.
He had to have seen something, Alan. I think you're right, because the Miners seemed like they had a little bit of momentum going there. And he takes a 30-second timeout with only 50 seconds gone here in the third quarter. Starters back in: Perky, Viola, Jacobs, McAtee, and Reeves. So here comes Grant with their largest deficit of the night, down by 10. They were down 9 a couple of times, and tries to get it on in, but nice play there by Reeves, and the ball goes out of bounds. And a throw in there, almost throws it into the back court. Chelsea Eugene and gets it on out to Woodard, and a nice steal there by Jacobs. See if she can come up with it, and she kicks the ball, and they'll call a violation against the Miners.
Man, that's tough when that happens right there after Olympia just makes a great play on the defensive end, looking to get a fast break going the other way, but unfortunately she was unable to corral it there.
Smiled after being called for that, and that ball goes out of bounds, and the turnover to the Miners. And here comes the Miners up by 10. Caroline Reeves to McAtee, double teamed, and loses the ball. Solomon almost came up with it, and Chelsea Eugene did. And here comes Eugene, gets it over to Solomon. They want Solomon to go, but she travels. I think they're going to try to run a certain portion of their second half offense through Solomon.
Yeah, Solomon's the tallest player out on the court right now. She can use that height advantage down in the low post.
And here it is underneath to McAtee, and she hits.
Yeah, McAtee doing a good job with that mid-range jumper tonight.
Nice touch by McAtee. If she gets open, she has done a good job of bearing it. And there's a foul on Mackie Perky against Ariel Woodard. So Ariel Woodard had a very good first half. Down by 12, 40-28. First shot's good. And the second shot is also good. So cuts it back to 10 with 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Miners already with 40 points. Jacobs tries to get it over to McAtee, and it is deflected out of bounds off of McAtee, and a turnover to the Grant Pacers. Here they come on the outside. Woodyard has the ball, and here's Eugene. Can't get it to go. And here comes Jacobs, and she's moving fast. Tries to move by Woodard. Does. Left hand. It's good, and it counts, and she's fouled. Again, Olympia Jacobs has a chance for a three-point play.
And you got to love how quick she transitions. As soon as she gets that rebound, she just takes off right down the court, doesn't waste any time getting it into the offensive end of the floor.
And, boy, once she gets the ball here.
You see her moving her feet before she even gets the ball right there. She goes up for the shot. She's fouled along the way.
And she misses the free throw. 42-30 Miners. 5.5 to go in the third quarter. Up high to Woodard, and she passes it on out. Eugene tries to get it through, and here's Jacobs again. Woodard on Jacobs, starts to think about it. Tries to get a move, can't get her to commit, and so she bails out and sends it on over to Reeves. Reeves to Mackie Perky. Perky, a good three-point shooter who needs to rev it up a little bit more. And here is Reeves, drives the lane and scores. Strong game by McAtee, Reeves, and Olympia Jacobs here. All three heavy contributors so far tonight from way outside. And there is a three. by Colette Eugene. 11-point Miners lead, 44-33. Maria Viola will try it. High rebound comes down to the Pacers, and now they've got a jump ball. And so the possession arrow is in the direction of the Miners, I believe, and it is. And so Maria Viola will inbound the ball. 4:31 to go, 44-33. Miners by 11. Has been a pretty close contest through the first half. And here's Jacobs again. And it looks like she's fouled, and she is. And that'll be Solomon on the foul.
Yeah, she's doing a good job of attacking that bucket. But she's gotten to the free throw line, probably good at least 7 times on this night.
And let's take another look at that, Alan. Third foul here on Solomon.
You see her drive towards the basket, and you see she finds Viola underneath hoop, but she's fouled.
And the second free throw is good, 46-33. 13-point Miner lead. All the starters still in for the Grant Pacers. Comes out high to Eugene. Here's Chelsea Eugene, and a foul is going to be called on Caroline Reeves. Colette Eugene is fouled. It'll be the third team foul of the second half against the Miners. And there, gets it into Eugene, and she hits. Again, an 11-point lead, 46-35. Caroline Reeves puts it up, no good, and Solomon gets the rebound. Here comes Grant with numbers. Underneath, lays it up, and good. Lucretia Smith brings it back to single-digit lead for the Miners. Lauren Wardell goes over to check on in. The next break, she and Emily Ryan will both come in, and Maria Viola gets up the shot, but travels en route.
Yeah, good defense by Solomon right there as Maria Viola looked to drive the lane, but she saw Solomon standing right in the middle of the lane and caused her to turn over that ball.
Mackie Perkey, Maria Viola are out for the Miners, and that'll bring in Emily Ryan, as I said, and Lauren Wardell. And here's a nice drive there, and that will not count. Lucretia Smith. Instead, the ball will be inbounded. .332 to go. And Ariel Woodard, who has had a very good game, checks back in, and they're going to give Solomon a little bit of a rest here. And it's out of bounds, deflected out by Emily Ryan. 3:31 to play in the third quarter. Right underneath. Excellent play, but Woodard can't get it to fall. So here comes Reeves. She has a Jacobs on her left. She gets it to Jacobs, and she puts it up. Bounces off the rim, no good. But Emily Ryan gets it back up and is fouled. And Emily Ryan has been a tenacious player for the Miners this season. Had some huge baskets against Granite Bay down the stretch when they really needed the points.
And this Lady Miner squad, everyone's came off the bench and played tonight, and they've all been able to make their contributions.
So Emily Ryan hits the first of two. 10-point bulge for the Miners, 47-37. 3:18 to go, and she hits both. So she makes the best of her free throws, and the Miners are back up by 11. Drives the lane, can't get it to fall, but an excellent offensive rebound by Colette Eugene, and she scores. Lauren Wardell sends it on over in the corner, but it's intercepted. And here comes Eugene again. Dishes it off to her sister, who is fouled on her way to the hoop. And Chelsea Eugene, let's see, they'll inbound the ball. Fourth team foul for the Miners with 2:51 to play in the third quarter. Woodard can't get it to fall. A nice set play there by the Grant Pacers, but it doesn't result in anything. Here it comes over to Olympia Jacobs underneath there, and a foul against Lauren Wardell. And Alan, I can understand how Grant would be a little bit upset with that when it looked like it was almost all ball.
Yes, it did look like that right there. She wasn't really able to get that shot off at all, but the ref saw something we didn't, and she'll be at the line to shoot.
Lauren hits the first one. Miners lead back to 10, 49-39. 2:40 to play in the third quarter. And the second one is good. So Wardell gets both of the free throws, takes the Miners back up by 11. Eugene from way outside. Ooh, can't get it to fall. Very close, but couldn't quite hit. Reeves now brings it on up the floor. Gets it on over to Olympia Jacobs. In full flight, she goes to the basket. Can't score, but Ryan gets the rebound, gives it back on over to Olympia Jacobs. Smartly dishes it on over to Reeves. Lauren Wardell back over to Jacobs. Jacobs goes to the hoop. Looked like she was fouled, but instead the ball comes off to the Pacers. And here they come fast up the floor. Smith has the ball and retreats. Colette Eugene dishes it on out to Woodyard. And she hits for two.
And this Grant squad refusing to go away.
They just won't. 9-point lead. Miners have made a little bit of headway, but here's a nice pass to Emily Ryan from Lauren Wardell, and the two combine to get another basket for the Miners. Up by 11, 52-41. A minute and a half to go from way outside. Air ball, and Christian Woodruff comes up with the rebound. And there's a steal. And a nice play there by Eugene as she picks the pocket of Caroline Reeves.
Yeah, Reeves got a little relaxed right there in her own zone. She faced the consequences right there.
Lauren Wardell for three off the front of the rim and no good. Emily Ryan tries to save it but cannot do it. Perky checks back in, and so does Kylie Clark. And Sarah McAtee will sit down, Lauren Wardell will sit down along with Caroline Reeves. So Ganskie resting his regulars a little bit here for what looks like it'll be the home stretch fourth quarter. Grant only down by 9. And the ball's thrown away. .54 seconds to go. Miners by 9. Big possession here. Would like to close out the third quarter strong. Kai brings it up. Over to Mackie Perky. Thought about it, didn't take it. Christian Woodruff instead gets it to Emily Ryan, and she scores!
Yeah, Emily doing a good job of finding open looks down low. And since she's been in this game here late in the third.
She's finding the open spot and taking advantage of it. Colette Eugene, she can't get it to fall. Olympia Jacobs was breaking quickly, but they couldn't quite get it to her. Now they do. She starts to drive, but instead sends it out to Kylie Clark. Kai retreats, but gets it on over to Jacobs. Again, Ryan hovering underneath the hoop. Mackey tries to get it to her, but cannot. 5 seconds. This will be a three to end the quarter, and it's good, but they're going to call a travel. At the buzzer, and I didn't see that travel, but I guess it was there, Alan.
Anywhere either. Do you know, did they call it on Olympia on that one?
Yes. And on that play, Olympia hit the three. That's the end of the third quarter, and as the third quarter ends, Grant comes right back out onto the court.
Yeah, that wave off right there is huge because there's a
well, they're going to put 2 seconds up on the clock.
An 11-point game and a 14-point game is a big difference.
So Grant has 2 seconds to cut into this 11-point lead. This would be a huge basket at the end. Miners need to clamp up a little bit defensively here. Inbounds the ball, tries to get it underneath, but a good steal by the Miners, and that will end the third quarter. So we've got 3 in the books from Allied Gymnasium. The Miners, who had a decent lead at halftime, have made it 11 here at the end of 3 with 8 minutes to play. The Miners lead 54-43.
Yeah, but these Grant Lady Pacers, they keep on fighting and playing hard, and they're refusing to go away tonight. You see, it's a close third quarter still, 21-17, and I mean, if they can get a few turnovers, momentum swing, you never know what can happen in the fourth quarter.
And if you took a look at that, you saw the Miners led. The first scored more points than Grant in the first, second, and third quarter. They need to close it out strong.
Yes, they do. And they did, as you were saying, they're resting a lot of their starters towards the end of the third. And once they get them back in, they got to take advantage of that. Hopefully, build on this lead and come home away with the win.
And there is Tom Fitzsimmons from KNCO joining us in the house tonight. Tom very pleased with his New York Rangers, big hockey fan, and pleased to bring the Lady Miners action on the radio tonight. Christian Woodruff to inbound here for the Miners to start the fourth quarter. Kylie Clark remains in the game, as does Emily Ryan, who had a strong third quarter. Olympia Jacobs has hardly had any time on the bench at all tonight. Gets it back over to her and Mackie Perkey, who has not shot much tonight. Mackie needs to shoot a little bit more, and there's a steal, and I think that'll be a foul on Olympia Jacobs. The Granite Bay game a couple of Fridays ago was a real interesting one. Jacobs, suffering from a bad right foot, was forced into the game in the third quarter when the Miners were really struggling, and I asked Caroline Reeves' dad, Cody, what the difference was in the game, and he says just 2 initials, OJ. And Olympia came back in, solved the problem, and had to leave the game with her foot really ailing, but came back and played the next night in a makeup game.
Yeah, but she's just she's been a big difference for this squad all year.
And here it is underneath. Sarah McAtee, a shot she usually enjoys and does well with. Ball comes way out. Caroline Reeves is grabbed, but here's for 3. Off the front of the rim, no good. Miners fight for the rebound, should stay with them and does.
And here's another look at that last swat right there by the Lady Miners. Emily Ryan just getting her hand right in the middle of that passing lane and tipping it right into the hands of Kylie Clark.
Ryan's had a strong game, and let us remind you that at the conclusion of tonight's contest, we will name a Lady Miners player of the game. And some good performances tonight, Alan. Who do we have to choose from? I guess
many right there. I think probably Jacobs has had the strongest.
Yeah, she's
contest.
But Emily Ryan, do you give credit for someone who comes off the bench and makes the most of limited minutes? She's done really well.
Yeah, done a great job in the second half.
And Reeves and McAtee have surely had steady games tonight. So stay tuned, and we will name a player of the game. Miners have the ball with exactly 7 minutes to play, leading by 11. Mackie Perkey gets it on over to Woodruff. Tries to get it to Jacobs and does. High out to Mackie. I don't think Perkey has taken a shot tonight. McAtee, yes!
Yeah, and what the Lady Miners need to do in this fourth quarter, try to use the clock as much as possible, make those extra passes, get some ball movement, and take the high percentage shots, because you don't want to take shots you're not going to make all the time and give Grant chances to cut into this lead.
Here it is underneath to Solomon, and Solomon is fouled, and it counts. Big Tracina Solomon scores their 6'2" junior. So she'll be back again next year.
And both of these teams they're filled with lots of underclassmen. The Lady Miners only have 2 seniors on their squad, and they got 4 or 5 sophomores on this team.
Grant should have they should have a very good team next year, Alan. A lot of players coming back. And there's the rebound. Solomon gets it again. Another offensive possession here. Comes underneath, and Solomon will put it back in, but the foul will be called before the shot. Well, no, that'll be called on the shot. So Solomon goes back to the line for two. 11-point lead for the Miners. 6 minutes, 11 seconds to play. And the ball, I think the ball, well, that shot was good, wasn't it, Alan? So do they call that a basket, or what are they going to do? Let's see. So she gets the basket. Well, let's see.
Yeah, you see Coach Nadine O'Bannon looks upset with the official right now.
This is one and a penalty, so it was called before the shot. So 1-on-1. Crucial time here as Solomon needs to make this first free throw. Colorful pair of socks on for Tersina Solomon. And the first one is off the rim and no good, so the Miners get the rebound. Catch a break there. Christian Woodruff gets it on over to Caroline Reeves, and Reeves brings it on up the floor. Jacobs back over to Reeves. Woodruff gets it swatted away by Solomon, and a nice save there by Christian Woodruff. Sarah McAtee, her favorite spot, but all she can catch is air on that one, and Grant will come the other way. Chelsea Eugene over to Woodyard. And Grant takes a timeout. So with 5:33 to go in the fourth quarter, and Grant with the possession, they trail 56-45. Alan, the Miners kind of in the home stretch here of not the easiest game of the season.
No, it hasn't been. This has been a battle all the way, but Grant's playing really hard and giving all the Lady Miners that they can handle. And, you know, in this fourth quarter, so far the Lady Miners really haven't been shooting as well as they had been early on. Grant's been able to keep it right around that 10, 11-point mark right now. And, you know, you never know what can happen. A couple turnovers, if Grant can take advantage right now, they can pull this even closer.
And, you know, let's remind you here that Friday night we will be bringing you the McClatchy game. Next Wednesday it's Kennedy in the house. So some great Metro League action coming up on your network of stations here on the Touchdown Productions television network. So the home stretch is here for the Metro League, and the Miners again are right in the thick of it. So Grant with the ball. And I think except for perhaps a small stint in the first quarter, Olympia Jacobs has played almost the whole game.
Yeah, she hasn't came out in the second half.
And we'll try to get a word with our Touchdown Productions player of the game at the conclusion of the contest in our post-game segment. But inbounding in here for Grant is Eugene, gets it out to her sister, and they trade it off again. Solomon tries to get it, but she knocks it out of bounds, and it'll go to the Miners. .524. Berkey out high, gets it to Jacobs, over to Woodruff. She's almost all alone, and she hits.
Yeah, excellent job finding the wide open player. What they need to do to get these high percentage shots in.
Eugene on over to Smith. Smith gives it back over to Eugene, and she wants three, but can only get the front of the rim. But her sister's fouled as she puts it back up, and Colette Eugene will go to the line for two. And that's the 8th team foul of the second half for the Miners. So Grant is in a good position as far as free throws are concerned for the balance of the game, trailing by 13. First one by Eugene is good. Had a chance to talk with Colette Eugene before the game. Very soft-spoken lady. but really feels good about what this team has done this year. And this is a much improved Grant team over last year, so you got to take your hat off to them. She hits both. Miners by 11, 58-47. 4:40 to go in the fourth quarter. Woodruff hits McAtee, and McAtee lays it in. So Sarah McAtee adds to her totals with a nice little flip from underneath. And a nice move there by Smith, but she can't quite finish it. And Olympia Jacobs is fouled going the other way. And that is the 6th team foul against Grant, so they're almost in the penalty too. Mackie Perkey has Jacobs on her left and gets it over to her. Jacobs high in the three-point arc. Nice pass underneath, but Christian Woodruff could not quite come up with it. Out of bounds, turnover to Grant.
Yeah, I think they threw that a little high right there, because if they would have thrown it a little lower, there's a good chance it would have been intercepted by Solomon down low.
Here's Eugene. Almost sends it into the backcourt, but this is Smith. Over to Eugene, underneath to her sister, and she's fouled. So again, Chelsea Eugene hooks up with Colette Eugene. And Colette will go to the line shooting 2. .345 to play. Miners with a 13-point lead, 60-47. And there is Coach O'Bannon right there. Has done a great job with these girls this season. Very proud of their performances, the improvements that they've made, and the dedication that they have exhibited to this Grant program.
And with lots of players coming back for next year, and this program heading in the right direction, playoffs could be in their future. Maybe not this year, but the next.
Well, you'd think so, especially with the realignment. Miners bring the ball up, and Woodruff is alone underneath. Almost gets fouled, but misses the shot, and then is hammered to the floor, and here comes Smith the other way. Slows it down and over to Eugene. She was thinking 3, but gets it to Solomon. Solomon misses, comes off, and Eugene gets the rebound. This is Smith. Air ball. Solomon hammers Woodruff, and the foul is finally called. And Smith says, what was that? Solomon says, what was that about? Didn't agree with that at all, but Alan, it looked like she came over the top and hammered Christian Woodruff pretty well.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that was a good call by the official.
And so that will bring Christian Woodruff to the line. Miners by 12, and now they need to start hitting their free throws, and here it is, Alan.
Yeah, here's another look as you see shots put up by Woodyard. You see Woodruff going up for the rebound, and you see she's just mauled right there by Solomon.
And Christian Woodruff hits her first. Here comes her second. Miners by 13 with 3:18 to play. And the second is good. Here comes Smith. She drives the lane. Can't quite get it to fall, but gets her own rebound. That one also catches the rim, and it goes out of bounds, but it will stay with the Grant Pacers. 3:06 to go. Woodruff's out. Kylie Clark is in. Eugene on over to Woodyard. And Woodyard, nice drive to the hoop and scores. Kylie Clark back in the game, and there's a steal. Here comes Smith. She can't get it to fall. The two of them collide, and it goes out of bounds to the Miners. Smith and Woodyard ran into each other. Woodyard ended up on the floor. And there's another steal. Here's Eugene, and she's fouled on the way to the basket. So some real lapses here by the Miners.
And there's the first steal a second ago. by Grant. You see Smith is able to take that ball. After she steals it, goes right to the bucket. Shot was no good, and then you see ball's tipped out of bounds by the Grant player.
And you know, next season as these players gain a little more maturity for Grant, they're probably going to be making those layups, and this is going to be a tough team.
Yeah, next year you're not going to want to give up any, create turnovers like that, and Grant, they will be capitalizing on their opportunities.
62-50. 10 fouls now, 10 team fouls against the Miners with 2:42 to go. And the second one is good. And timeout is called by the Miners.
Yeah, smart timeout right there. You see the Miners, they built about a 14, 15-point lead right there, and you see they got a little sloppy over the last minute of play or so, and Coach Gansky's going to have to get the troops rallied right there and finish strong.
Give the regulars a rest, get them prepared for the final 2:41 here as we go down the stretch from Allied Gymnasium.
You know, finishing, that's going to be a huge key over this final week of the regular season as we got McClatchy coming to town. We got Kennedy next week. They're going to really have to finish strong in those games if they want to come away with victories.
And for the Miners, you know, Alan, they've although Grant hasn't gone away, the Miners have done a good job tonight.
Yeah, the fourth quarter, most of it was strong just for those last couple sequences right there. They were got sloppy and let Grant get a couple points.
And there's a couple of our fans here. And we'd like to remind you that we'll be naming a player of the game here, and we'll get an interview afterwards. So here come the Miners, the last 2.5 minutes of this game. Over to Kylie Clark. Kai almost gives it away, and it does go out of bounds, and it will go. It should go. No, that was touched by the Miners if they give it to Grant.
Now Sarah McAtee's anticipating that they're going to have possession right now.
And I think
she's pretty anxious to get that ball in and play underway.
And I think Sarah was the one that knows that she touched it out of bounds. So the Miners catch a break there. She doesn't dare crack a smile. Here's Mackie Perky. McAtee, yes! And so with 2:18 to play, Miners up by 13. Woodyard dishes it on out to Smith. Over to Eugene, and that ball comes right to Caroline Reeves. And Caroline gives it away to Smith from the free throw line. Won't fall, but Solomon finishes it up.
You know, the Lady Miners are going to have to look back on this game. They're going to realize they're going to have to cut back on some of the mistakes they've made tonight, like these turnovers the last couple minutes, and they made some early in the game. And if they're going to need to do that.
You're right,
down the home
Alan.
stretch this season.
Definitely a good game to learn from. And that comes off, and that should go out of bounds to the Pacers. Let's take a look here at...
right there, as you see the ball hits McAtee's ankle and then rolls right out of bounds. Lady Miners catching a huge break right there.
It was Mackie Perky. It was Mackie Perky.
Yeah, excuse me, it was Mackie in there.
So I was wrong, too. So, Sarah, it's okay that you didn't smile on that one. It was your friend Mackie who hit it twice on the way out. From outside for three. She hits. 1:16 to go. Gets it over to Kylie Clark. Miners with numbers. Lauren Wardell brings it back out again. Caroline Reeves. Miners now by 8. 1 minute to go. And here's Reeves. Nice left-handed layup is good. Over to Eugene, and she runs right into Reeves, and I guess they're going to call the foul on Reeves.
Yeah, they're going to say Reeves' feet weren't quite set right there.
And so That's the 11th team foul on the Miners, so she'll go to the line.
Yeah, there's another look at right there. As you see, Reeves was still moving on the defensive end, and that's why they called her for the blocking foul. And you see right now, look, Reeves and McAtee had to get down right there to clean up the floor where it was a little slippery.
So 44 seconds to go. Miners lead by 10, 66-56. However, Colette Eugene has a chance to trim that lead to 8. But the Miners with a safe lead at this point. Lauren Wardell in the game now, as is Kylie Clark. Sarah McAtee, Caroline Reeves, and Mackie Perkey. And this is Colette Eugene. A strong game by Eugene, only a sophomore. And it's no good. In fact, of the players on the floor, Woodyard, 00, is a junior. Solomon, number 34, is a junior. As we mentioned, Colette Eugene is a sophomore. Chelsea Eugene is a senior. So a good future here. And here comes a fast break. Mackie Perkey wants to take it in all alone and puts it up too hard and is no good. And it's batted out of bounds and will stay with the Miners with 34 seconds to go.
Yeah, hit goes right off the hands of Woodyard, giving the Lady Miners possession again.
Mackie Perkey has a very good three-point shot, but hasn't been quite in the scheme of things, and there's a turnover. So another chance here for the Pacers with 30 seconds to go in the game. Smith to Woodyard to Eugene, off the brim, no good, and it'll go out of bounds and over to the Miners with 19 seconds to play in the game. So let's see what happens here. Into Reeves, and Reeves is fouled right away. And so the Miners, also benefiting from the Pacers being in the penalty, will go to the free throw line, leading by 10 with only 18 seconds to play. And Alan, you know, Grant is a decent team. Their record really doesn't indicate how good they are, and the Miners did come in and do what they needed to do to prevail tonight.
Yes, they did. You know, it probably wasn't the greatest game by the Lady Miners. Made some mistakes that they can work on right now, but you know, Grant got a hand at them program on the upswing, and they continued to play with pride the whole night, even though they were down, got down by a lot in the fourth quarter. They fought back and they've kept it close.
Second free throw is good. And Caroline Reeves checks out to applause. Maria Viola checks in. Several strong performances by the Miners tonight. And the ball was inbounded, but timeout was called by Grant after the ball entered the floor, so a little bit of a strange call.
Yeah, a lot of whistles over these last couple minutes. Flow's kind of diminished.
Some strong performances by the Miners tonight. Again, as Coach Ganskie said, the bench contributing well. Maria Viola had a good game, although she was a starter. Emily Ryan, Kylie Clark was extremely solid, both offensively and defensively, so they're getting a good performance. Lauren Wardell only needs to work a little bit on that step, otherwise would have had a good number of points, but our touchdown productions, player of the game, another successive, extremely strong performance for Olympia Jacobs. What can you say, Alan?
Yeah, just did a great job tonight, did a great job on defense, able to come up with a few steals of her own and was able to take it coast to coast. She just does a great job transitioning when she makes steals or gets rebounds on the defensive end, going to the offense, and she drained about 4 3-pointers tonight as well. Has proven why she's one of the top players in this league and the top scorer in this Metro Conference at this point of the season.
And we'll have a chance to hopefully talk with Olympia a little bit after the game. And that ball's tapped out of bounds. That should go to the Miners. It looked like that Maria Viola had tapped it off of Colette Eugene's hands, but it'll stay with the Pacers. And here it comes to Eugene. And she takes a shot from outside and hits. That was Woodyard. And a quick timeout. And Grant down by 10. They are not willing to give up.
Well, you know, they want to work on every little, even though they're down by 10, they're not going to be able to come up with a W in this game. Just chance to just work on every aspect, just get maybe some extra practice time, in-game practice time.
You know, Alan, you got to give Nadine O'Bannon, the coach of Grant, credit. She comes into the game with a full head of steam and determination, and she is coaching these girls right down to the bitter end.
Yeah, and you know, if you look at the line score, you know, it's been a battle this fourth quarter. Grant right now winning in the fourth quarter, 15-14, outscoring the Lady Miners.
Now, they could have very easily just packed it in and called it a night. But instead, they come into the fourth quarter, and they play a very spirited fourth quarter. And the Miners with one last possession here, I would think that maybe Grant will foul on the play, but Grant's going to find it, it would be one of the biggest miracles of basketball within 13 seconds for them to score 10 points. And here it comes. McAtee almost a steal. And Lauren Wardell is fouled by Colette Eugene. So 8 seconds remaining.
Yeah, some of the Lady Miners fans right now kind of grumbling about the fouling by the Pacers going on right now.
But you know, Alan, see, I don't find a fault with that because Coach O'Bannon is coaching this game right to the end. And she takes great pride in the program. She takes great pride in the performance. And she's going to try to get everything that she can out of these kids. And let's face it, Alan, what is she doing? She's also preparing these players for next season. She's going to have most of them back.
Yeah, what it does is it carries over to other games and stuff. It just gives them the attitude that they have to fight to the very end and never give up in these games. You know, they're not going to win this one, but it'll lead to wins in other contests.
So 6 seconds to play. McAtee will have her second free throw here. Miners leading by 10. Excuse me, I guess that was her first. As she also was fouled on the rebound. Here's her second. That one will come off and be no good. And Grant has the ball. 3 seconds. 2. Miners will win tonight on a shot at the buzzer that will not fall. 68-58. Your Touchdown Productions player of the game again, Olympia Jacobs. Great performance, not only on the fast break, but also from three-point range. And she just had a strong performance tonight.
Yeah, did a great job right there on both ends of the ball. Just had a complete game offensively.
And was good in close and was good from long range. So a good performance there for the Miners. They get the job done here at Allied Gymnasium, get another win on the season, and for the Miners, a good performance here in a game that they need to win that gives them an excellent tune-up for the upcoming Friday contest.
Yeah, and that Friday's contest will be huge. It'll be homecoming night here at Allied Gymnasium with McClatchy coming to town, with huge implications for the Metro League title on the line.
And so the Miners are outscored in the fourth quarter there, 15-14, a Grant team that just would not go away. As Grant is proud of themselves, their program, and what they're doing this year, let's face it, they're headed in the right direction. The Miners get done what they need to get done. They win this game, and they head on over for a showdown coming up on Friday. And there's happy birthday, RC. There's your cake. And we have here at Network Central, we have Olympia Jacobs. And Olympia, just another day at the office.
Basically, yeah.
Really good performance. You had been really working on that three-point shot, and it was there for you tonight.
Yeah, I think a couple weren't, but that's okay.
There were a few people that said that your three-point game was off, but I guess they were wrong, huh?
Yeah. Ganskie, well, I've been having a couple off games, and Ganskie's like, just be a fearless shooter. So hopefully that slump is past.
And, a game that the Miners had to win tonight, not being able to look forward to McClatchy on Friday, came out, and Grant gave you everything you could handle.
Yeah, this we were talking about before the game. This is really, we had to win this one, so we were pretty ready to play. Yeah.
As you take a look at this game, had a little bit of a hard time doing the fast break that you normally do in the first half, but really I thought came on really aggressively in the second half.
Yeah, well, our plan was to, run the ball a lot, but just in the beginning everything was soft. Like we weren't really going hard, but I think we were just like a little bit nervous. Like we knew this game was big, and so. But by the second half, I think we got it down a little bit better.
Two questions for you. Number one, you take a look at McClatchy coming up on Friday. The only blemish in the Metro League season to the Miners. What does Nevada Union need to do to prevail here at home on Friday against McClatchy?
I think we just need to rotate better. That's what we've been talking about. Well, last time we played McClatchy, their posts had a lot of points, because we were rotating and then we weren't getting out on the shooters. We were all kind of. But we've been working on it a lot in practice, and I think we're ready. Like we got them down. We've been watching the game tape.
Okay. Second question. A good bench this year. A lot of good players coming off the bench. Another good performance tonight by Emily Ryan.
Yeah.
Who else do you think was a standout tonight?
Oh, Sarah McAdee. Yeah, she did so good tonight. She's been shooting the ball. I was trying to get her to do, and she did awesome. So.
And I thought that Caroline Reeves also had a good contest tonight, and good balance as far as this team is concerned. Final question: How deep can this team make a run into the playoffs?
How deep? I don't know. I think we can get through the first couple because we were looking at it. If we win the rest of our games, then we'll have I think we'll be like number 2 seed or something, and then we'll play Burbank. So I know we can beat. I think we can beat the first one. So I think we can go a couple games into it at least. I mean, hopefully go all the way.
Olympia, another strong performance tonight. Good from outside, good on the fast break, good from underneath. Well-balanced performance. Congratulations on this victory against Grant tonight.
Thank you.
So that's Olympia Jacobs, our Touchdown Productions Player of the Game here at Allied Gymnasium as it empties out after the Miners prevail in a nice, well-needed victory tonight. And there goes Olympia, another strong performance. And there's the Adams clan right there. I think they're waiting for me to get off the air, Alan. But a good performance there by the Miners, and something that they had to do. And now you look forward to the next big game, which will be our next large telecast of the game of the week, which will be against McClatchy. Huge confrontation for the Miners. Really a must-win, Alan.
Yes, it is, and I'm really looking forward to see that contest.
And with that game coming up, the Miners have always been a strong second-half season, second-half performing team. So McClatchy, Kennedy, next 2 games, huge contests. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'd like to remind you that the NorCal Game of the Week has been brought to you by Liberty Motors. The Alkenbrack family hopes you've enjoyed tonight's Metro League telecast.
Hanson Brothers Construction and HB Rentals. The Hanson family supports high school sports and other youth activities in the foothills.
Casey Wood Corporation. The Casey family says, go Lady Miners.
Porta Subs. The Argento and Larimer families support youth activities.
All Phase Heating and Air Conditioning. The Bennett family is proud to be an NU family.
Plaza Tire and Auto Service. The Hausers are a longtime NU sponsor.
The House of Print and Copy. Patty Free is happy to be an NU alumni mom.
Walker's Office Supplies. The Anderson family is happy to support local sports television.
And by Touchdown Productions, simply the best in high school sports television. Be sure to tune in next week on your NorCal Game of the Week as we follow all the local teams on their road to Arco Arena and the section title. Our next broadcast will be right here at Allied Gymnasium. The Lady Miners continue their quest for another league title And in the way of them is the McClatchy Lady Lions, exclusively on our Foothill network of stations, whether you're watching us on ACTV, Channel 20 in Auburn, Seabridge Connections, Channel 23 in Alta Sierra and Colfax, Lake of the Pines, Channel 7 in Bear River, or NCTV, Channel 11 in Grass Valley. That game will be one you will not want to miss. So, Alan, final words here.
Yeah, just, strong second half performance by the Lady Miners tonight as they really picked it up, and just good tune-up for them tonight as they head towards another Metro Conference title with McClatchy and Kennedy standing in the way. Just, a lot to learn from this game tonight as they did make some mistakes, though.
Last two games will be highly important for the Miners, as we have already mentioned. And so McClatchy on the horizon and Kennedy in the not-too-distant future. Your executive producer-director for tonight's broadcast is Gilbert M. Dominguez.
Chiron
operator. Oh, sorry.
Chiron operator and replay, Brandon Duckett.
Announcers, Jim Adams and Alan Barros. Alan, a pleasure to work with you tonight.
You too, Jim. Camera operators, Casey Dominguez, Chris Glasson of R.C. Cameron in his final game.
Our office manager, Patty Costa.
Production assistant, Karen Mikan.
Technical engineer, Paula Michelson.
Touchdown accounting, Aero Business Solutions.
Remote facilities brought to you by the Commander.
Commander Maintenance, Plaza Tire and Auto Service.
Stats courtesy of MaxPreps.com.
And be free to check out our broadcast times inside the Union.
And Touchdown Productions, we're in Grass Valley. Write us or look at the World Wide Web. TouchdownProductions.com. Farewell, RC. Happy birthday. And you've been watching exclusive coverage of Nevada Union Lady Miner basketball on the Touchdown Productions television network. Good night, everybody.